The first 10 overs has been a 10 overs of two halves. At the start, the Netherlands all over Zimbabwe, and then the experienced pairing of Raza Williams and Sikandar Raza coming to the party and making the 10-over score looking a lot more respectable than it was about 20 minutes ago, about half an hour ago. 53 for 3. Raza's in the mood, 15 of 10. Raza Williams also with a couple of boundaries, 20 of 17. But the early breakthroughs from Glover and the first one from Van Meekeren have given Netherlands something to look at in terms of this total. I'm joined on Cricbuzz Comm Box by Bhattacharjya. The momentum obviously with these two boys right now, they need to carry on. Raza hasn't got runs in the Super 12. This is his chance.
Absolutely. I think they need to carry on. I think they are going a bit too hard right in the beginning. I think Raza came in. What happened, I think, with this team Zimbabwe is that they were conscious that this is a smaller ground, smaller south boundaries. They took the chances up front. Meekeren made them play. Brandon Glover made them play. And they got 3 wickets, which they... I mean, there was one over where Chakabba gave 3 chances. He gave 2 chances, but dropped twice, then finally got LBW. But what it means is they were trying to push the pace way too hard. I think Sikandar Raza came in, got the length of Brandon Glover, hit him for 14 and an over. But they need to be careful because, you know, this is the kind of batting which, I mean, you've just had 10 overs. At that stage, it was 7-8 overs. They've gone a bit too early. They paid for it. This is a recovery phase, and I think Zimbabwe would want these two guys to bat for at least another 4-5 overs.
Yeah, the first 6 we saw, Raza hit looked as if he was really in a hurry. Either that or he was his appetite was so whetted with the short boundary at the Adelaide Oval. If anyone's not watched cricket at the Adelaide Oval, even in Test match cricket, you can see sometimes 50-55 meters on either side.
Absolutely. 55. Today it was 65 on one side, 67 on one side, 56 on the other. 67 to 56 means that, you know, they will be tempted to go square. And we were talking about it before the match as well, that, you know, bowlers want to keep the lengths out there, so not allow any kind of width to the bowlers, to the batsmen. But I think these two batsmen have the quality to make them pay if they stick around for a while. There's not too much batting to follow. There's Ryan Burl, there's a couple of others, but these are the two who really need to score big for Zimbabwe to make a total which is going to scare Netherlands.
Yeah, let's have a look at the bowling. They started off really in fiery fashion. We were wondering, there was a lot of movement for Fred Klaasen up there. He's wicketless, but look at that, 3 overs for 8 runs. They just couldn't get bat on ball to him. Meekeren with the early breakthrough and Brandon Glover with that magical over after he was hit for a couple of boundaries. But overall, it looks like a very disciplined effort from the Dutch. They'll now have to look at the second 10, tell themselves, let's break this partnership, and then keep keep Zimbabwe down to a manageable total.
Absolutely. I thought Klaasen was a class act. In the first 3 overs that he bowled, he was, for me, the pick of the bowlers. Unfortunately, he didn't get the wickets. Meekeren got on the other side, and then Brandon Glover. But I think, given the way that they're bowling right now, I think they're going to go through with these 5. I don't think they're going to change the bowling at all. They bowled well. I think Netherlands have bowled to a plan. They bowled very well. They bowled disciplined lengths. And if they can just manage it and control Raza a little bit, you know, make him chafe at the bit, make him take risks. And that's what he did the last over. And immediately you could see the other side, you know, Williams wanting to tell him that, you know, slow down. There's a lot of overs left. Let's not take unnecessary chances now.
Well, they had an edge to the keeper in the over from Bas de Lede, which was not taken, was not referred, no one noticed it. Small things like that in this sort of a competitive game between Zimbabwe and the Netherlands, they'll have to look at. There was even an LBW which Paul Van Meekeren thought of going for, didn't go for. So just maybe they didn't, maybe not that proactive at the moment.
Yeah, the rub of the green has also not gone their way. But I think that Netherlands, this is a match with a lot of spark. You know, sometimes you see a big country and an associate country playing, there's not that spark out there. But Zimbabwe versus Netherlands is definitely a battle among equals. So at least the Netherlands looks at it that way. And it's been a fascinating contest so far.
Yeah, I'm just checking the Cricbuzz app just to confirm that it was actually the last ball of the 9th over. Brandon Glover and Raza glovered it to the keeper, and it was not referred, but obviously you saw the nick later. At this stage, in the 11th over, we were looking at maybe 140, anything between 140 and 160. Where do you think Zimbabwe are looking? If these two stay, it could be a pretty decent total.
Yeah, it could be 170 also. It could be 170, but they'd be happy with 160. I think they feel they've got the bowling attack that if they get anything over 155, 160, they'll manage to contain the Netherlands within that.
Well, both these individuals have something to prove at the Super 12 stage. Sikandar Raza was so responsible for getting them here, and after that he's had single-digit scores. He looks like a man on a mission. Can the mission be extended up to close to the 20th over? If it is, they'll have something competitive on the board.